All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with TEW 9, the War of Immortals save with WWF Classics, and our next episode of WWFC Superstars. It is Friday, March 22nd, 2024. So let's take a quick run around here and double check what happened last week. So we had Harley Race win a battle royal. Cowboy Bob Orton and Magnificent Morocco defeated Demolition, the Islanders, and the Natural Disasters. Jesse and Jim Ross ran down our card for the night. We also had Strike Force beat Power and Glory. Then we had Boss Man telling Honky Tonk Man, you've been ducking me for a little bit here with this title, and your time's about to come pretty soon. Then we had Paul Orndorff beat Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then Hogan telling him he's coming for him. He's going to get him. Then we had Honky Tonk Man and the Big Boss Man defeat Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. The Horsemen accepting the six-man tag team match from LOD and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Then we had the Texas Tornado beat the Natural Butch Reed. Savage telling Piper that he wants him and that they're going to get that match. Then we had the New Horsemen, Barry Windham and Sid Vicious beat the Fabulous Freebirds. Lex Luger calling out Bam Bam, telling him he's going to knock him out. Hulk Hogan beating King Kong Bundy in a pretty alright match there. Then we had Jesse interview Mr. Perfect. And then we had our stellar killer main event of Macho King Randy Savage and the Ravishing One Rick Rude defeating Roddy Piper and the Ultimate Warrior, getting a 99, the highest match we've gotten so far in the whole save. So I will be right back after we are done booking the show, and we'll hop right on into it. All right, everybody, so we are back. We have the show booked, and let's head into our first pre-show match, which got a 69. In a pre-show bout that had good wrestling and good heat and decent wrestling, Sid Vicious defeated George the Animal Steel in 9 minutes and 44 seconds by pinfall with a power bomb. So the crowd at the end is expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating got a 64. The crowd rating got a 71. And the segment got a 69. So George Steele had a in-ring performance of 51. Sid had a 77. Also, this kind of ruined it. Teddy Long debuted his old school manager gimmick, and it got an initial rating of poor. George Steele and Sid Vicious don't seem to click, and it made for an awkward bout. So Teddy Long was not supposed to be a referee. He is supposed to be the manager for somebody who we will see later on tonight. Let's head into our next pre-show bout, which got a 66. So in a decent pre-show match, Arn Anderson won a battle royal in 13 minutes and 6 seconds. So there's all the eliminations. The crowd is expected and simmering. The wrestling rating was a 58. The crowd rating is a 49. The segment got a 66. Coco Beware can sustain an olecranial fracture. So let's head into our first segment of the night. It's got a 63. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWFC Superstars. We've got an absolute stacked card tonight, and I promise you don't want to miss a second of this action. That's right, Ross. Every superstar tonight is bringing their best. These matchups are what the WWFC is all about, and it's going to be one heck of a ride. Tonight, Jesse, we've got the Macho King Randy Savage taking on Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Savage has been on a tear, but tonight he's up against one of the most unpredictable high flyers in the game. Snuka's looking to prove himself against the Macho King, but Savage has some tricks up his sleeve, and it's going to be an all-out battle, and I can't wait to see what unfolds. And if that's not enough, we'll be hearing from Jake the Snake himself, Jake Roberts. You know, you never know what's on Jake's mind, but you can be sure he's got some strong words for the competition here in the WWFC. Roberts is always playing mind games, Ross, and tonight won't be any different. The man's the master of getting his opponents' heads, and I'm sure he's got something big planned. And folks, it's tag team action at its finest when Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant join forces to take on Big John Studd and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. These are four of the biggest names in our sport, and they're about to collide in a tag team showdown. Studd and Orndorff think they can overpower anybody, but with Hogan and Andre in the ring, they're in for a rude awakening. That one's going to be up the charts, Ross. And rounding out this powerhouse lineup, we've got the fabulous Rougeau brothers going head-to-head with Demolition for the WWFC Tag Team Championship. The Rougeaus have finesse, but Demolition, they're going to be bringing brute force. This match is going to be a slugfest, plain and simple. It's all here tonight on WWFC Superstars. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're about to see some of the finest athletes in the world give it their all tonight. Tonight's action is going to be unforgettable. So it advanced all of our storylines. Jesse Ventura looked good out there. The crowd is simmering. So we're getting there. So let's head into our first match, which got a 72. In a decent match, Demolition defeated the fabulous Rougeau brothers in 12 minutes and 4 seconds when Jacques Rougeau was disqualified while fighting Demolition Axe. It doesn't really make sense. I would see it more as he hit him with the titles. There you go. That's a lot better. So the crowd is still simmering. The wrestling rating was a 64. The crowd rating was a 58. The segment got a lovely 72. Raymond had a 58. Jacques had a 61. Smash had a 61. Axe had a 73. It advanced our Rougeau and Strikeforce storyline. Jacques and Raymond showed excellent chemistry teaming together along with Axe and Smash. So let's head in to a promo from Hulk Hogan. It's got a 64. Holy Lord, this guy cannot cut a promo, apparently. You know something, brothers? Last Saturday, a Saturday night's main event, Hulkamania was running wild. The Hulkster stood tall just like I promised every single one of you. And to all my Hulkamaniacs out there, I want to say thank you for always believing in the power of Hulkamania. But I gotta say, there's one man out there who just doesn't get it. Paul Orndorff. You tried everything you could, and I still walked out the winner, brother. I told you that Hulkamania is stronger than any man, and you learned it the hard way. So if you got any doubts left, I say bring it on again, brother. And then all of a sudden, Hogan's talking, and then bam! Right from the back with a brutal clothesline is Paul Orndorff dropping him down. You think it's over, Hogan? You think you won? This is just the beginning of this. So the crowd is still simmering. Paul Orndorff versus Hulk Hogan lost a little bit of heat, so that's not really good. So let's head into our next match. It's got a 62. In a decent match, Rugged Ronnie Garvin defeated Bob Orton Jr. in 9 minutes and 44 seconds by submission with a reverse figure 4. The crowd is simmering. The wrestling rating was a 55. The crowd rating was a 56, so we got a 62. Bob Orton Jr. had an in-ring performance of 61. Rugged Ronnie Garvin had an in-ring performance of 48. It advanced our Butch Reed and Ronnie Garvin storyline, and the commentary lifted the match. So let's head into our next promo. It's got a 69. Horseman, you may have come out on top last time, but you know, deep down, that was just a lucky night. The Legion of Doom doesn't take kindly to setbacks, and when you cross us, you've made enemies for life. Whoa, what a rush. The Horsemen think they're the best in the business, but they've never faced a force like the Legion of Doom and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We're coming back for round 2, and this time, there'll be no escaping the pain we're bringing. Ho, Horsemen, you may have thought you could keep us down, but that was just the beginning. We're back and we're coming for you. Tougher than ever, and this time, there's no running, no hiding, just us bringing the fight right to you, tough guys. We want another shot at you, Horsemen. Sooner or later, we're coming back, and when we do, we're going to make sure there's nothing left but pieces in the ring. When the Legion of Doom and Hacksaw Duggan come crashing through, no one survives. So get ready, Horsemen. Next time, we're going to show you what real destruction feels like. That's right, Horsemen. You're in for the fight of your lives, tough guys. Ho! So it's not a half bad promo. Road Warrior, Animal, and Paul Ellering have great chemistry, and the angle got the crowd hotter. And also advanced the New Horseman storyline. So let's head into our next match, which is the Horseman, or the LOD versus Money Inc. Oh no! Oh, I clicked too much. So we'll just go back here. So the match, the Road Warriors versus Money Inc. got an 82. So that's horrible. And then next was a promo from Jake, which got a 90. WrestleMania, the biggest stage of them all. The place where men like you, Randy Savage, believe they'll become legends. But you see, Macho King, legends aren't made, they're exposed. You walk around wearing a crown with your head high and your chin out, pretending that you're untouchable. That the crown somehow makes you greater, but deep down, Randy, you know just as well as I do that the title you cling to, that belt, it's nothing but a target. You fancy yourself royalty, Savage, but every king knows when the snake coils around him, he's no longer a king, he's prey. And at WrestleMania, the entire world will see you humbled, broken, laying in the ring with the gold slipping out of your grasp. So bring your best, Macho King. Bring your pride, your arrogance. Bring every ounce of fight you've got, because when you step into the ring with me, there's only one thing left to do. Surrender to the inevitable. At WrestleMania, Randy, you're not just facing a man, you're facing a cold-blooded reality, and once the bell rings, you hear that sound, it's already over. So let's head into our next match. In a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Lex Luger and Roddy Piper defeated Rick Rude and Harley Race in 18 minutes and 3 seconds when Roddy Piper submitted Harley Race after he'd had a bad communication with Rick Rude. I thought I put it as pinfall. In terms of ring work, Roddy Piper was head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating was an 80. The crowd rating is a 76. The segment got an 81. Harley had a 71. Rick Rude had a 73. Roddy Piper had a 94. Lex Luger had an 83. It advanced the Rick Rude Harley Race storyline that we got going on. Harley Race was really off his game, and Rick and Harley don't work well. Their timing is all over the place, and the match got the crowd buzzing. So now we know that Rick and Harley can't work together. They also had a miscommunication. So let's see where things are going to head out from there. So let's head into the next promo from Mr. Perfect. It's got an 89. So here I stand, still perfect, still on top, and I'm just waiting to see who's foolish enough to try and step up next. Who thinks they can break perfection? Because I've got news for every single superstar in that locker room. There isn't a single one of you who's on my level. And then, just walking back from after his match, and Lex hears this and he says, Perfect, I'm pretty tired of you running your mouth about how there's no one who can take you down. You talk about perfection, but all I see is a man hiding behind that title, scared someone's finally gonna put him to the test. Scared? Me? You must be joking, Luger. I've taken on the best and beaten them all, just like I'd beat you. Is that so? Well then, why don't you prove it? Show me what you got. You think Mr. Perfect can handle the total package? Listen, Luger, I don't need to prove anything to you or to these people. I am the Intercontinental Champion, and I'll defend this title on my terms. But don't worry, Total Package. Your time's coming, and when it does, you'll just be another name on the list of my list of failures. So, um, the crowd is very hot. It got an 89. It advanced the Mr. Perfect Lex Luger storyline. The performance of Mr. Perfect was good. Lex Luger performed poorly in this segment. Mr. Perfect clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and perform well. And Mr. Perfect benefited from having a hot catchphrase. So let's head into our next match, which is Savage versus Snuka. Oh, wow, this match did really well. And about that had great heat and good wrestling. The Macho King Randy Savage defeated Jimmy Superfly Snuka in 17 minutes and 55 seconds with the flying elbow drop. So the crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating got a 77. The crowd rating had an 81. The segment rating was an 85. Macho King Randy Savage had an in-ring performance of 85. Jimmy Snuka had a 69. It advanced our Macho King and Jake Roberts storyline, and Sensational Queen Sherry did good work at ringside. So let's head off to our final promo from Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. It's got a 47. I kind of figured it would. Oh boy. So it's also the crowd is hot and cooling. So all right, listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. Week after week, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the competition that the Midnight Express deserve, but every single time we're either ignored, disrespected, or overlooked. Let me tell you something right now. The Midnight Express, Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan, they're not just any tag team. These men are the best in the business. The ones who redefine tag team wrestling every time they step into the ring. And I'll be damned if we're going to sit back and twiddle our thumbs while the so-called competition hides in the back. So here's the deal, Jack. We're done waiting. We're done being polite. The Midnight Express wants a match, and they want it right now. We're not leaving to the ring until somebody in the back comes out and faces us. And we'll show you why we're the best tag team in the business. And let this be a warning to every team in that locker room. You're looking at a team that's going to run through every one of you. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. So, let's head to our main event, which is Hogan and Andre taking on Big John Studd and Mr. Wonderful. I got a 71. Dang. I guess we should have switched this all around. And about that had great heat and decent wrestling. Hulk Hogan and Andre defeated Big John Studd and Paul Orndorff in 18 minutes and 15 seconds when Andre pinned John Studd with a butt drop. The crowd is hot. The wrestling rating got a 60. The crowd rating got a 78. And the segment got a 71. So Andre had an in-ring performance of 52. Hogan had a 70. Paul Orndorff had a 63. And Big John Studd had a 55. So it advanced our Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan storyline, as well as the Andre and Big John Studd. So Hogan and Andre have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. Teddy Long did good work at ringside with Big John Studd, and Andre is getting better at his gimmick. So let's check out and see what the show finished with. We got an 80, so that's not bad. It really isn't that bad. Okay, so the show increased in 6 regions. We would have gained 1 in the US, but we had a limited number of viewers. We also would have gained 2 in Canada, but we were limited to the number of viewers, and the show benefited from having quite a wide selection of angles. So that's really great. So let's finish this off. The injury review, he'll be out for 84 days. And the financial report, we made $710,254 from that show. So we're doing really good. Let's check out the pop recap. Nothing really went over there. Okay, so this is the end of tonight's show. I will see you guys in the next one.